What a beautiful town, man. I absolutely love it here. I want to tell you guys something. Something happened to me today. And you really should pay attention because this is really important, okay? This is something you need to know. You can't just cut the mold off of food. And let me tell you why. You know how mushrooms grow in a fairy ring? Well, if you dig in the center of that ring, you'll find that big white stringy stuff that you always find when you're gardening and in your mulch and everything. That is a mushroom, okay? So the actual mushrooms are what's called the fruiting bodies. They're like the apples they grow off of the tree. Do you understand? It would be ridiculous to think that the apple is the whole plant. But you're forgiven because the mycelial mats are hidden. Now, I want you to understand, the reason that fairy rings grow is because a certain part of the soil that has a certain amount of nutrients and a certain type of bacteria growing in it, usually fire fangs, some sort of thermophilic bacteria that breaks down leaves and grass. The stuff that's in goat stomachs and sheep stomachs and cow stomachs and horse stomachs. Whenever a mushroom spore lands in a spot of soil that has this type of beneficial bacteria, it's able to grow that white stringy fungus. But once it reaches the edges where that bacteria isn't growing there anymore, it's inoculated in all of the substrate, right? The substrate being the nutrients, right? So when you have a loaf of bread, and the loaf of bread has mold spores in it, there's green mold, aspergillus, it lives everywhere. It's inside your lungs right now, okay? Now, in fact, when you get that thick, stringy green mucus, that's usually actually aspergillus mold growing in your sinuses. Now, that's not what makes it turn green. It turns green because of white blood cells dying. Now, what you need to understand is that whenever you just take the moldy slice of bread and throw it in the trash, you just threw away the apples. The entire loaf of bread has been inoculated with... inoculation is not the right word. That's just when it sprouts. The entire loaf of bread has been overtaken by mold. That's why when you throw away the green slice and eat a slice that looks fresh, it tastes like potting soil. That's the nitrogen being released from the decadence of the nutrients in the bread. Now, you might think it's okay and safe to eat that and it just tastes nasty. You are wrong. Okay? Mold toxins cause depression, anxiety, brain fog. Wake up. Stop eating it. Stop eating out at cheap, nasty restaurants where the food tastes like potting soil. Okay? Ugh.